Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm John.
And together we're OCB
Reactions.
And today we have Tremonti, If Not For You.
Hey, you know what? When it comes to Tremonti himself, you can't go wrong.
I hope this sucks, to be honest, because I didn't know it came out last year. And when I made my album of the year list, I was like, this probably should have been on it, but I didn't know it was out and I missed it. So I hope this sucks.
Because we absolutely love Alter Bridge.
Alter Bridge is awesome.
The only thing that Tremonti ever did I didn't like was Creed, and it wasn't because of Tremonti.
It's Scott Stapp. I don't like his voice, and
or him.
Well, Creed is basically like, oh, let's repurpose Led Zeppelin riffs and rearrange them. But I mean, they were good. They were actually, the songs were good. It's just like, I don't like his voice. It's too grunge.
Yeah. But when it comes to everything else, Tremonti, it's all been good. Yeah. And I kind of feel like a heel for not having heard it either as a guitarist. But now I don't know who suggested it. Do you?
It's John Woodbury.
Oh, okay.
The same guy that did Alter Bridge, and I was like,
oh, okay.
He's like more of the more commercial side of prog.
Ah.
So I mean, he's gotten us a lot of good bands that like we would have dismissed because they were more commercially
right,
or they were more commercially successful.
Right.
Not they were like sellouts or anything. They just were successful.
You know that's one thing I really thought about is when certain bands when they become successful, so many people, oh, they're sellouts. It's like, isn't that the purpose of becoming a professional musician? Is to make money
so they can eat.
Yeah, it's like just because they're
bank supermodels and drive fancy cars and knock their arms off and.
But the whole thing about it is once again, if you're doing it and you make it, that making it doesn't make you a sellout.
No, I mean like, okay, like I think the biggest sellout in all metal was probably like the original Cult band, which is Celtic Frost.
Okay.
But when they did release the album, that's so commercial, like it was such an attempt that the guy will not reissue it. Cold Lakes, yeah, and that's actually one where I found them.
I mean, of course, Metallica's been accused of being, the
well, that's because they are. That's because they are.
Yeah,
But that's because the statement they made is like, we're not a metal band, we're an arena rock band.
Yeah, and then like the
they disavowed their roots. And
yeah, we're not a metal band. It's like, what was it? The original album title was going to be "Metal Up Your Ass." It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, dudes.
Like make it. Well, it's funny because I actually watched the video. Can't remember the guy who did it, but it's like every thrash band ever has sold out.
No,
and if you go through their discography, yeah, they kind of did. They made an attempt. Like any.
Selling out means going commercial. I never saw Slayer really selling out because Slayer could never really go commercial.
They tried. They slowed down on Seasons of the Abyss. It was an attempt to garner a larger fan base.
Well, a larger fan base is one thing.
But they changed their sound to get a larger fan base. That was legit. What I wouldn't call them sellouts. They're a band. They're a professional band.
Yeah.
They still played what they wanted to play. And the other band is like Dark Angel. Like, well, they actually flat out said like, we slowed down because we're not selling records, and we figured that's a Dark Angel problem. And it's like, I understand that. It's,
you know what? At the same time, that's actually just smart business.
I mean, bands have to evolve, or otherwise they just get boring.
Well, yeah, it's just that there's also a difference between evolution and natural evolution and forced evolution.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden when you go from one album to the next, completely changing your sound and changing your look and changing your logo and also not thanking your friends Metallica, your fans, and your drumming gets even crappier than it was before.
Yeah, even Anthrax, they put out like a complete shit album. Didn't do that.
I still think the funniest interview I ever saw was the one interview with James from Metallica, and the guy's like, "Is it true that Lars is the greatest drummer on the planet?" And James just looked and said, "He's not even the greatest drummer in Metallica." We got all way off on a tangent on this one.
Because that just makes me want to go into Suicidal Tendencies and Rob Trujillo and like them wasting him and Metallica.
But back to Tremonti.
Yeah.
And the song "If Not for You." When it comes to Tremonti himself, I've never been disappointed.
No, he's an excellent guitar player. I mean, and he deserves his accolades, even though he's getting a lot of them from people that aren't aware of like exactly how far you can go with the guitar.
Right.
Like he's kind of like the normie guitar god. But it's like when people say he's the greatest ever, it's like, but is he? Not really. But he's up there, and I don't want to take anything away from him. It's just like he's the greatest you've heard.
One of the things I do appreciate with Tremonti is he can be really accurate and technical, but he still gets that soul. That's where he
technically might be the best, like from where he started off, for being blues based. He might actually be one of the very best in that arena.
Right. Well, you know what? We haven't heard it yet, so let's go ahead and get on to this. Maybe
he'll blow Hendrix away.
Oh, here we go.
Turn and face me. Could you always be forever at my side? Fill this heart of mine.
Just good old rock and roll.
It was a pretty good Godsmack song. I mean, I love the solo at the end, very soulful. I really like that. Added a lot to it,
Yeah.
but then it's over. It's like this. That's when I first got into it. Was at the solo. I'm like, it was boring. I was just bored. But it was just a new metal song or a rock and roll song.
Yeah. For me, it was just a rock song. I mean, the rest of the song was okay. They did have some interesting stuff going between the guitar play. Better than what most rock is doing.
The riffs were cool. I liked the riffs. The
But-
drumming was what took me. It's like it was just the same. It's like Drowning Pool. It's just the same shit.
You mean-
Regardless of the chorus, the same tempo.
You mean AC/DC?
No, AC/DC is a little more dynamic than.
No,
this-
they're not.
this
I
song.
can play AC/DC on drums, and I can't play drums. No,
It was.
was
I
it the
didn't-
best thing Tremonti's put out by far? No.
No, it's not. I mean,
But
I don't hate it. I appreciate the independent parts of it outside of the drums, and it's not that he was bad. He did his job. It's just like they were just undynamic. And when they did the changes, like it was like Drowning Pool. There really was no change. Outside the riff changed, but the tempo didn't. There was no ramp up or pull back. It's just an undynamic rock song. It's solid, and it's like I know I'm gonna pull a lot of hate because I don't love it, but I love a lot of what he does. But this specific song, I'm just like, it's okay.
it's like I said. Do I love it? No, I liked it. It's just good to me. It's just a good rock song. I mean, it was that he didn't do the greatest things that he's done. I do see what you're saying about the drums, though. Yeah, it doesn't make me want to stand up and clap for him, but I'm not gonna hate on it.
No, I mean, it was a good, solid song, but it's a song I will, out of his catalog, even the Creed stuff. It's not like I forgot it. I still remember the Creed songs.
Yeah.
This one I'll forget as
Yeah.
soon as I do anything else.
Yeah, maybe this one is kind of like every album's got its throwaways.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
it's-
he used it as a single. That's the thing. It's like, it's just like, it's just a good, solid song. But it's not one I would use to sell the album.
that might be why they did it, though, is because of all the mindless drones listening to music today.
It could be. No, I mean it's good, solid song. I've
Not
heard
amazing. Like
I've
you're
heard
used to
better from him and recently.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, we're not really dogging out. We're just, it's not the best Tremonti's done. So
No.
take that for what it is.
fairly well.
Thank you.